Welcome everyone to Monday Morning Morons for January 29th, 2018. As you can tell from the quote I provided in the description, we've got a little bit of a theme this week. Language matters. Let's start with what the progressives were calling Trump's shutdown because, it was totally his fault and all. For the foreign viewers, relax, I'm not going to go into it too much here because, frankly, I don't have to. The cognitive dissonance is pretty damn obvious. Just so no one accuses me of strawmanning, here you can see Chucky Schumer blaming the shutdown on Trump. And like good little lemmings, here's the hashtag that the social justice crowd started to perpetuate that narrative. Then, hold on to your boots here, progressives fume after vote to end government shutdown. See the problem yet? This ought to make it crystal clear. In a Democratic caucus meeting, Feinstein complained that she had to vote to shut down the government Friday and asked why the same resolution couldn't have been reached by then, according to a source in the room. Democrats outright telling you that they voted to shut down the government over DACA, yet the narrative machine in full spin mode blames Trump. If it was Trump's shutdown, how did you vote to shut it down? If it was Trump's shutdown, how did you vote to reopen it? If it was Trump's shutdown, why are progressives pissed off that Democrats ended it? See the problem now, you fucking idiots? How can it be Trump's shutdown if Democrats voted for it, Democrats voted to end it, and Democrats are now pissed off that it's over? Does Trump control Democrats now? I'm not even going to go over how fucking stupid it is to shut down the government over DACA. I'll just say this. You are Congress. You make the laws, not Trump. Did you forget that shit? If you want these so-called dreamers to stay, then you need to fix the immigration law. Stop passing the buck off on the executive branch. Obama may have done what you wanted, but that's no guarantee any other president in the future will do so. Fix the fucking law, and this wouldn't be a problem, would it? Trump couldn't deport all these illegals if you incompetent bickering children did your job. Stop blaming Trump. He didn't write the law. You did. Don't like it? Fix it. Stop asking him to break it. Since we're already on cognitive dissonance, how about another helping? Anyone remember this? 6-8 months ago, I guess? Another one of those narratives that the social justice wankers ran with for a while? Well, woman mad at U.S. actions abroad set campus fires, prosecutors say. How interesting, huh? Notice how the title just says woman, not terrorist? So this was just some random pyromaniac, right? A woman allegedly angry with U.S. military actions abroad was charged Friday with setting several fires at a Minnesota university. Hassan allegedly confessed to investigators that she started multiple fires on campus last week, including one in a dormitory housing a daycare center. Hassan stated she started the fires because she's been reading about the U.S. military destroying schools in Iraq or Afghanistan, and she felt that she could do exactly the same thing, a criminal complaint said. She said that her fire starting was not as successful as she wanted. Nobody was injured due to the fires, and most damage was limited to the university's equipment, according to the school. A sprinkler system at the daycare center, where 33 children and 8 adults were present, prevented the spread of the fire. Hassan allegedly harbored radical ideas and wrote a letter to her roommates containing radical ideas about supporting Muslims and bringing back the caliphate. The complaint claims the woman told the police and fire investigators that you guys are lucky that I don't know how to build a bomb because I would have done that. Hassan said she wanted the school to burn to the ground and that her intent was to hurt people, the complaint added. Right. So, she set multiple fires, wanted to hurt people, it wasn't as devastating as she'd hoped for, and we're all lucky that she doesn't know how to make bombs. But, she's not a terrorist, just a woman. Remember that next time these social justice types say all terrorists are men. They're only correct because we don't call women who do the same thing terrorists. Starting to see why language is important and why the progressives are trying so hard to police it? Here's another example. Yale let accusers text each other to coordinate testimony against male during Title IX hearing, according to a lawsuit. Now this one is kind of long and there's a lot going on in here, but I want to just kind of cut to the chase. You can read the whole article if you like. As usual, it's linked in the description. To get to the point I'm making though, I do need to give you a down and dirty kind of summary. So, John Doe, real name withheld obviously, was accused by two girls of groping them on the bus. Here's Jane Roe's allegation from the story. Jane Roe also accused Doe of creating a hostile environment for countless women at Yale and said he was groping every woman on the bus to the game. They're talking about the Harvard-Yale game. All the women on that bus were interviewed, and none other than Jane and Sally said Doe groped them according to the suit. Interesting, isn't it? She says he groped every girl on the bus, and yet not a single one of them says he did except the two accusers. To make a long story short here, Yale's response to the obvious bullshit? You guessed it. He's responsible. Here's your scarlet letter, John. Too bad, so sad. Bye-bye. Now, the point I was making about language is a bit further down. It is apparent that Yale views all women who simply make complaints of alleged sexual misconduct as victims. You see why the progressives want that word? It's a loaded word. You simply cannot be a victim unless there's a crime. Voila! Due process is eliminated. If anyone who claims sexual assault is a victim, then there must be a perpetrator, and now you're guilty until proven innocent. Listen and believe rape victims, remember? It's not just the con artist Anita Sarkeesian saying it either. Here's Hillary Clinton saying the same dumb shit. This is mainstream theory for these morons. But if there was no rape, then there's no victim, is there? And that's why they're calling them victims. Assuming they are victims assumes there's a perpetrator, and that guy must be punished. A bit off topic, but as long as we're here anyway, let's be real, it's always a guy. Tracking the toxic masculinity pieces all the time, I can tell you it's pretty damn rare for any news agency to use the word rape when it's a female perpetrator. Why? The law. The penetration, no matter how slight, of the vagina or anus with any body part or object, or oral penetration by a sex organ of another person without the consent of the victim. See the problem? A woman, by law, cannot rape a man unless she uses a foreign object, period. Forced to penetrate? Nope. Not rape. Forced cunnilingus? Nope. Still not rape. Words matter. Think about that the next time one of these cry bullies insists you use one of their made-up pronouns. Allowing them these bullshit words allows them to claim they are victims of any kind of discrimination they like. You are tacitly agreeing that they are victims. It's all downhill from there. Speaking of toxic masculinity, as usual, there were lots of stories to choose from, but I'm going to go with the one Gopher's World posted for me over on Minds. Woman admits fatally stabbing children after her husband filed for divorce. A Central Indiana woman has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder in the fatal stabbings of her young children after her husband filed for divorce. The November 17, 2016 attack killed 7-year-old Tyler and 3-year-old Charlie Worley. Police said Worley called 911 admitting the crime. She also was treated for self-inflicted stab wounds to her neck. I just stabbed myself and I killed my 2 children, Worley said in the 911 audio obtained by CBS. When the dispatcher asked Worley what caused her to do that, she replied, "My husband wanted a divorce and wanted to take my kids, and I don't want him to have my kids." You know whose fault this is, right? Yep, his. That horrible, oppressive, patriarchal shitlord had the audacity to decide he wasn't happy with her anymore, and then he tried to leave. He tried to find happiness somewhere else. That bastard! I mean, I just can't imagine why. Just like everything else this week, look at her language. My kids. They're possessions to her. They're mine, and that horrible man wanted to take my stuff. She's clearly not an entitled, egocentric, unstable psycho or anything. She's the victim. Toxic masculinity did this to her. That guy tried to be happy. How fucking dare he? Okay, Bob, that was kind of depressing. Give us a laugh. Students hold bleed-in to demand free menstrual products. I said laugh, not cringe. Keep reading, he says. University of Florida students held a bleed-in demonstration Tuesday, going around campus with fake blood on their pants to protest the lack of free menstrual products. Uh-huh. Exactly what I was expecting. Whiners doing something completely retarded to demand free shit. Still not seeing the funny part, Bob. A student government committee recently rejected a proposal to fund free menstrual products through a mandatory student fee. Wait, what? Proposal to fund free menstrual products through a mandatory fee. So, free stuff that you pay for? That sounds an awful lot like all that free healthcare they keep demanding we pay for. Oh, shit. The future of America, folks. People who don't understand what free means. We truly have a world-class education system, don't we? Okay, that's it for this week. Repeat it with me, folks. Women are victims, men are oppressors, and feminism is just about equality. I'll see you all next time.